Hello, welcome back to Basement Backgammon. On this episode, we are going to be featuring a 1.5 inch tabletop board that you may have seen online. Quite a few of these have gone on eBay in recent years, and I don't know who makes the board. All I can say is if you go ahead and buy it, don't spend a lot of money. Not that it's a bad board or anything, but what they clearly tried to do in this board is they clearly tried to copy a Crisloid tabletop board. And they didn't do a terrible job of it, but they chose the cheapest components to do it with. Now, the wood itself is perfectly fine. It's a solid board. It's not particularly heavy. It's got rubber feet on the bottom, so it's meeting all those criteria. It's even full wood all the way across the bottom. It's hard to see there, yeah, but it's full wood all the way across the bottom, which a lot of tabletop boards just have the frame, and then there's like a where the bottom would come up. There's just like a felt pad underneath, not wood all the way across. So this is a full wood frame, so that in itself is pretty good. But then what they did is they took a piece of velvet, something velvet-like material, and then they sewed these points in. And you know how we feel about sewn-in points. Not the best. They can be done very well when they're done with precision, like the old Aries of Mexico boards. But these were not. These were done very quickly and rapidly in some bad Chinese factory somewhere. So not the highest quality points, although these, I mean, it works for backgammon, but as you can see, checkers tend to catch on the points, and then they start to come up like this. You can see it right there. One of the things I like about this format of tabletop board is it's got a cutout for the dice, which are, by the way, completely useless except to store. It's got a cutout for the cube, and then you could put the cube, I guess, in the dice cutout when you pass the cube back and forth, so you know where it goes. And it's also got a cutout for the checkers. And the cutout for the checkers is actually a great feature of this tabletop board format, because not only is it storage for when you just have it on a table and it's not being played, you can store your checkers here, but also then becomes the bear-off tray for the checkers. And a lot of tabletop boards don't have that, and you sort of have to stack them up as you take them off, and it gets a little awkward, and sometimes the stacks fall into the field. And here, you just put it right here where it belongs. These checkers are trash checkers. They're nothing to write home about. They're maybe Uriah stone, if that. Probably either Uriah stone or it's just some modern plastic. I think this board might have been made in the 1980s, but I have no provenance over it. I have no idea. Let's do a 6 across test. I can already see, as I'm starting to stack the checkers, you can see that they're not on the field. The checker's just not wide enough. This board was, again, not made with a lot of care by a backgammon professional. And you can see that there's a whole ton of slop in between. Going across, let's see what we got. Here's 5. There's 5 over here. And it appears we have 12 and change going across. Oh, just about 12 exactly going across. All right, so let's see how this looks. When I actually started playing backgammon, I started playing on a Crisloid tabletop board. That's how I learned. I learned at the atrium at 60 Wall Street in New York City with the chess hustlers and the backgammon hustlers. And they took me for a bunch of money while I was learning how to play. Good for them. I miss those guys, though. They're really, really great guys and very good and tough backgammon players. I used to play with, I shouldn't say I played with, but I used to watch Victor Ashkenazi play there, and I used to watch Falafel play there, and a whole bunch of people who came and went playing for $50, $100 a point in some, atrium in between Wall Street and the subway train. And had a lot of fun there and learned a lot from those people. Very good group. So I actually have a lot of fond memories of the tabletop. The only problem with the tabletop, of course, is it's hard to store. I have it down here in my basement. No big deal to store it in the basement, but if you want to put it out and leave it out, you could either lean it up against the wall, but then what do you do with all the checkers and stuff? Or you put it on a tabletop, in which case all the checkers and the dice are exposed and they're just out there. They're not stored in any good way. And your son or daughter comes along and all of a sudden one of them gets lost and the whole thing is ruined. So the tabletop board has some issues with it. It is, however, a cheaper alternative to attaché cases. It's just hard to travel with. So let's hear how this sounds. Double twos, not bad. You can hear there's not a lot of padding underneath that. You can hear the dice kind of clunky on the felt there, and the checkers run fairly smoothly even over the points. I'm not fond of the fit and finish of this particular board. I've definitely seen worse, I'll tell you that. 4 and 2, easy, easy. 5 and 2. Okay, let's see. Let's do. Actually, let's do 5 and 2. What am I doing? Good. Last roll. 4 and 3. Let's bring them both down. Try to make a point inside. So this is a tabletop board. I think it was manufactured in the 80s based off of what it looks like. Not exactly sure who did it. Likely made in China, it appears, or some sort of foreign country of manufacture. Not particularly well manufactured, but reasonable. And I got this for $20 off of Facebook Marketplace. So for $20, all right, you got yourself a backgammon game. Didn't come with any cups though, but that's okay. I got cups galore. Cups. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you again soon. Thanks for everything. Like and subscribe if you want more content. Bye-bye.